The last time I went to Dusseldorf, I popped into the movie store and picked up some Something Weird video DVDs and this Jess Franco set. I haven't done a lot of Franco on the channel, so let's take a look at one of these. By the way, if you're ever in Dusseldorf, check out the movie store. If you like the stuff I talk about, you'll be in heaven there. Bring cash though, he doesn't take cards, and the DVDs are a little pricey for being used. I'm sure it won't be the first time you had to use cash to pay for something that had definitely been used. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Love Letters of a Portuguese Nun from 1977. Longtime viewers of the channel will know I'm not a huge Franco fan. This is mostly because I don't really like films that are clearly made by people who don't care about filmmaking and are just trying to make a buck. And Franco certainly made some films like that. That being said, not everything he made was like that. The guy made a lot of films. It's impossible to dismiss everything he did. There are some hidden gems in his filmography, and this is one. Let's check it out. We open on some text in German. For those of you fortunate enough not to speak that language, it says, "This is a story of a girl who wrote a letter to God. God answered." And then we're in the forest with two young'uns flirting. The boy wants a kiss. However, the girl is, well, I don't want to say a tease. That's unfair. Let's just say she's a good girl. Nevertheless, the local priest thinks that she and the boy are offending God with their lascivious behavior and wants to talk to the girl's mother. The priest is played by William Berger, by the way. Giallo and spaghetti western fans might recognize him. They walk through the credits to her house. Once there, the priest convinces the mother that the girl must be admitted to a convent. For a price, of course.
What's money compared to the soul of your poor child?
Padre, I don't have money. What am I to do?
You are responsible then for her sins, and you will join her in purgatory.
Since I know very little about how the church operates, not to mention how it operated hundreds of years ago, I'm never quite sure when I watch these Nunsploitation movies if they are accurate depictions of how evil the church is or an exaggeration. And then I read the paper. Anyway, Nunsploitation films are a kind of women in prison film, and we all know how those movies go when the new recruits get to prison.
Remove your frock.
Naturally, that's something we're gonna have to skip here on YouTube.
Now just work here.
That being said, did you know there's a Patreon version of this channel? It's true! Support the channel there and get access to Patreon versions of my reviews. There are over 150 there now. The link is in the description. One of the first things our girl, her name is Maria, by the way, has to do is confess to the priest. The whole conversation is pretty skeevy. It eventually comes to an end.
Is there something wrong, Padre?
The priest does too. So, as a form of penance for all the things she told the priest, Maria is covered with thorny ropes. That does not look fun, which is different from the movies I normally watch, where it is a lot of fun watching people get covered with ropes. Well, we'll soon find out that this isn't a normal convent at all. It's a coven of Satan worshippers. That is a fun twist. And it explains why the priest was so manipulative. He's not a servant of God at all. So, good news, Christians. Here's a Nunsploitation film that is not critical of the church. Although, since the mother was unable to distinguish evil Satan-worshipping behavior from expected church behavior, maybe not really.
I think he's got a point.
So, Maria's boyfriend shows up and tries to rescue her. Nevertheless, Maria sends him away. It seems that Maria has fully bought into the lies she has been told. I mean, she is a Christian. Or maybe she hasn't bought into these lies. She overhears some stuff that changes her mind. What she overheard didn't change my mind. I've always thought lesbian nuns were hot.
I mean, do you believe that?
I'm shocked.
So Maria writes that letter, but... Whew, man, I've been holding those back all day.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, I tried. It didn't work. Anyway, the letter Maria writes is discovered. Things are about to get dark, and that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. Honestly, even though this is a Jess Franco film, there's a lot to praise. As I said, Nunsploitation films are a kind of women in prison film, and this film in particular delivers quite well on those women in prison promises. We get the sadistic leadership, we get lesbian activities, plenty of nudity, plenty of torture and blood. Some of it is in dreams, but who cares? It's still on the screen, and that's what counts. True, we don't get a group shower scene, but that's not too surprising considering this is the Nunsploitation variation on the women in prison film. And beyond all the exploitation elements, the story here clips along at a decent pace and delivers a fun twist. A convent of Satan-worshipping nuns? That's pretty fun.
I'm gonna check that out.
Finally, this film is shot pretty well. Nice locations. I mean, that's easy enough to do if you're shooting in and around an actual European cathedral, I suppose. But the internal shots have some nice angles and good use of color, and the costumes look pretty cool. The more I think about it, this is probably among my favorite Nunsploitation films. It's not School of the Holy Beast, mind, but it is solid. But again, it's not perfect. Like a priest taking confession, this film has some shortcomings. Well, as is typical for European films of the time, the dubbing isn't great.
Shame on you. You're an awful tease.
Darling Marie, you must know you're teasing me almost every moment we're together.
Things are a bit better in German.
Aber glaubt nicht, dass ihr durch Geschenke mein Vorhaben ändern werdet, das die Rettung dieses bösartigen, widerspenstigen Kindes bewirken soll.
But if you don't speak German and are reading subtitles, you aren't watching the satanic nuns doing their satanic nun activities. Pick your poison. Beyond that, it's hard to find too much to complain about here. It's a Jess Franco Nunsploitation film, it's sleazy as hell and, depending on your views, offensive. But if you know that going in and you still want to watch it, you'll probably like it.
Some folks have a strange idea of entertainment.
The plot is straightforward, it's well shot, and it delivers on its promises. And since it does actually deliver on its promises, it is a better use of your time than religion.